5 people have been killed so far. That's what Mayor Michael Nutter told us. Here we've got a different view now as we're looking live at Skyfox. And now we got these overhead lights, so you can see the just complete devastation here of these cars. One of the cars is just shredded.
And you can see the downed wires as well, Ian.
Right, which are dangerous. And we heard those. You know, we've been talking about it all night. And you heard Bruce talk with those 2 eyewitnesses who didn't want to be on camera. But the one gentleman who mentioned that he was in the car, and then he said, well, how did you get out? And he said, you know, I don't remember if I got through the back or the front because the car was upside down.
Disoriented.
So he didn't know where he was, and then again the car's turned upside down, so he's thinking he's upright, but he's upside down. And you can see now, I mean, part of that, you know, we can't see it as well now, but it looked like either the back or the front of that one car was just sheared off, and just tells you kind of what happened. And then there's the car you're looking at there with a number 2 on it, a red 2 on it, is tilted on its side. And again, we've got some lights up now, so it looks better, but we can see it more clearly. But the devastation is hard to imagine when you have a couple of officials who say they've never seen anything like this in their life. They had to use hydraulic tools to get some people out because, as this eyewitness was telling you, some of the doors wouldn't open. They couldn't get a window out. They didn't know if they were right side up or upside down. But again, they're still doing some secondary searches, trying to make sure they've got everyone out. But this is what they call a level 3 mass casualty event.
It is, and the Department of Homeland Security has already talked to Governor Wolf about what happened here. We have no idea what happened. There's been a lot of speculation. One of the passengers that has been writing about this is an Associated Press manager who was actually on the train, one of the back cars, said it felt like somebody had slammed on the brakes, and it kind of came to a screeching halt, and then all heck broke loose, and everything was ripped apart, completely overturned, things on their side, and you know, it happened in a heartbeat. I mean, it happened incredibly quickly. To just kind of bring you up to speed, if you're joining us, because it is now 12:33 in the morning, shortly after 9 o'clock tonight, 9:30 or so, this Amtrak train 188 regional train had left Washington, D.C., coming through the Philadelphia area onto New York City. It derailed, tipped over, broke apart, and everybody is stuck in there. And, you know, off the bat, what we saw was a whole bunch of flashlights at this scene, because the first responders, that's what they had. They had to get to the people. They had to rescue them as quickly as possible, triage the area, get people who were hurt the worst stable, if they can, before they could transport them. And now the scene is much brighter because all of these overhead lights have come in so they can continue their searching and also try and figure out, as the NTSB arrives, what happened.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see here now that we can clearly see, it looks like there's one car been sheared off, and then 2, 3, you know, it looks like there are about 5 cars here that have been sheared off. The other ones are kind of off obviously the rail and then twisted and turned. Just
7 total with the engine included.
Wow, just incredible to see now that we can get a better vantage point of it and see it, and imagine the fear and the panic of those people that were on that particular train. And look at as Skyfox zooms into that particular car there, you can see it's totally on its side. So now, if you can imagine you were in there, you know, trying to get out of that particular car. That's why a lot of fire officials telling us they had to use some hydraulic tools to get some of the people out. Some people were able to get out, but as you take a look at this mangled train, you can see why this is such a devastating situation. We know at least 5 are dead, 238 passengers, and 5 crew members from what we understand. We still don't have the official manifest, but that's a pretty good estimate of who was on this train heading from Washington, D.C. to New York, and this happened in the Port Richmond area of Philadelphia. So again, other things you want to keep in mind, we mentioned it to you, because of this situation, there will be no Trenton line tomorrow, certainly not for the morning commute, and probably not at all tomorrow, because SEPTA does share a track with Amtrak, so there'll be no Trenton line tomorrow, so that's going to affect the morning commute. And again, if you have anyone on that train that was maybe family members, there is a number for you to call. The hotline is 800-523-9101. We've got the information for you on our website. We're going to have the number kind of on the bottom of our screen periodically as well. So that number is 800-523-9101 if you want information on any family or loved one that was on that train.
And before I go back to Bruce Gordon, we talked about how the Department of Homeland Security had talked to Governor Wolf. Well, Governor Wolf has released a statement now, and we have it here. And he says, I'm quoting, "My thoughts and prayers are with all of those impacted by tonight's train derailment. For those who lost their lives, those who were injured, and the families of all involved, this situation is devastating. I want to sincerely thank our first responders for their brave and quick action. I am closely monitoring the situation, and I am in contact with state and local authorities." And so there you have a statement from Governor Wolf that just came in tonight about what happened here in the Port Richmond area. Bruce Gordon live at the scene right now. Bruce.
Yeah, we've got some updated information for the morning commute here. I'm just going to flat out read this. This is from SEPTA now. Due to the derailment of the regional rail train 188, SEPTA's Trenton and Chestnut Hill West lines are suspended. It's anticipated the Trenton line will be suspended throughout the service day tomorrow, and this is important, and possibly through the remainder of the work week. So that Trenton line is going to be down for a while. Information may be available in the morning regarding when service on the Chestnut Hill West line will be restored. But for now, we can tell you that the Trenton line will be shut down tomorrow morning, almost certainly tomorrow evening for the rush hour, and perhaps through the end of the work week. And that is big news for the commuters who come in from that Trenton area, come in from Bucks County into the city. I-95, always a problem in the morning commute, and as it has gotten torn up by construction, that train line, that Trenton line, has become even more important for getting folks into the city each morning and out of the city each evening, and that is going to be a major commuter story for the rest of this week. I just talked to Frank Kelly from SEPTA, and he said the area out there, the track damage is significant. Remember, Amtrak and SEPTA share track lines throughout this area. He says that area there of the track where the accident occurred has been chewed up badly. They can't even get at it until some of the investigatory work is done, until some of the search and rescue and recovery work is complete. So they will obviously be working throughout the night, but they've got a lot of repair work to get to.